Hello, I'm Harry from QM, I'm making You're Gonna Have Two. And to celebrate Britain beating Germany in the football this year, I'm going to celebrate by giving you my list of top 5 best British shows. Now, before we get started, I'm going to set some rules. These are my opinions. Not all of these are TV shows. In fact, one of them is a YouTube show. And number 3, if you don't like these shows, that's fair enough. So, please don't berate me in the comments for it. Just... But without further ado, here are my top picks for the best British shows. Number 5. I'm giving the 5th entry to Eggworld. Yes, I told you, not all of these shows are on TV. One of them is a YouTube show. And that show is Eggworld. What started off as a fun little webtoon back in 2004 and 2006 turned into a massive internet sensation in 2012. I don't know when the exact date is, but I want to say 2012, since the tragic passing of creator Eggworld has gained a massive following, and especially after Egg's friend Tom Star took over and started running the series in his own way with a team which created the Eggworld legacy. And I have to say, Eggworld has gotten quite popular and it's gotten quite good over the years. And Eggworld, for those of you who don't know, Eggworld is a cartoon about 3 British men called Tom, Egg and Max. What happened to Tord? Well...
Can't believe Tord is leaving.
Number 4. The Worst Witch TV series. Now, for those of you who don't know, who didn't grow up in the UK, The Worst Witch, it was a book series that was first written in 1974, and it got a movie later on in the 80s, and then many years later in 2017, it got its own TV show. And I haven't read much of the book, but the TV show is so good. I highly recommend you watch it. So, The Worst Witch is about a girl called Mildred Hubbard who discovers that she's a witch and goes to a magical school full of other witches. Not wizards, only witches. So, it's basically Harry Potter, but all girls. And I must say, The Worst Witch TV show is so good. The stories are good, and what I like about it doesn't rely on a massive build-up. It doesn't rely on a massive build-up to be good. It's just a bunch of episodes of which, each season has its own story. And that's what I like about The Worst Witch. And The Worst Witch TV show is surprisingly good for a reboot, I must say. And ironically enough, it's actually the original movie that I didn't like. And and the actress who plays Mildred is really good, and for some reason she looks like one of my old school friends. Huh. But I must say, The Worst Witch, I've noticed some similarities in Harry Potter, between The Worst Witch and Harry Potter, and I read that J.K. Rowling has acknowledged that The Worst Witch Harry Potter was a Work Witch inspiration. Like, Harry Potter was inspired by the Work Witch. What I will say, the only critique I will give to the Work Witch, like the first few episodes, is its villainess, Agatha. I never really found Agatha that interesting. Like, I always thought she was just a generic bad sibling who wants to take over from the good sibling kind of villain. You know, not that creative, not that original. And she's just a typical evil witch. She's just the typical, just the typical good versus evil villain. But I will say, like, overall, The Work Witch is a good show, and it's on Netflix currently, and it's on the BBC, so if you want to check out The Work Witch, get a Netflix subscription, settle down, and binge watch seasons 1 through 3 before watching season 4 on BBC. If I don't know if any of you in the US don't have BBC. Number 3. The Amazing World of Gumball. Did you know Gumball was a British show? If you did, that's perfect. And for those of you who haven't watched Gumball, I recommend it. The Amazing World of Gumball is a TV show about a blue cat called Gumball who goes on bizarre adventures with his adopted goldfish brother Darwin. And what I like about the show is it mixes bizarre and comedic humor with serious stories and plots, kind of similar to Adventure Time, and that's what I like about these shows. They can be quite funny yet serious, and The Amazing World of Gumball is no exception. Sometimes it uses satirical humor, which is also what I love about the show. It has satirical humor without being too on the nose and being all putting in references for the sake of referencing. That's also what I like about the show, and also there's a few twists that the show has, and I'm not going to spoil them for you either. So if you want to go watch the show, then 3 seasons and actually, no, there's 6 seasons, and I highly recommend them. They're really good. Number 2. Danger Mouse 2015. Now, again, those of you who don't live in the UK, Danger Mouse is an awesome show which I highly recommend. It was actually a show that my parents grew up watching in 1981, and I must say, it's really gained quite a following in Britain, and the 2015 Danger Mouse has a much higher quality than the original, and that's what I like about it. I have seen a few episodes of the original Danger Mouse, and honestly, they can be funny, but they're not that good in quality. I will say that, they're not good in quality. And the 2015 Danger Mouse manages to have serious stories as well as comedy, and that's what I love about it, as well as the animation being super up to date and really well done. And for those of you who never grew up in the UK, Danger Mouse is a show that was made in the UK and in 1981 and rebooted in 2015, and honestly, I prefer the reboot. Now, if you want to check out a good cartoon about secret agent rodent, then Danger Mouse is the show for you. And the number 1 best British TV show is The Dumping Ground Chronicles. Now, the reason why I call them The Dumping Ground Chronicles is because they are 3 separate shows, and I didn't know which one to put I didn't want to put, like, each show in a separate entry, so I just crammed them all together in one entry, and they're all really good. Now, The Dumping Ground Chronicles consists of the story of Tracy Beaker Returns, and The Dumping Ground. And I'd say they are really good shows. Like The Dumping Ground is probably my favourite out of all of them, just because it doesn't have much comedy, but it's not serious, but it can be fun. What I like about the Dumping Ground and Tracy Beaker Returns is even though it has super serious stories that the audience can relate to, it doesn't have that serious, gritty tone where it's just depressing. And it can sometimes mix comedy with its serious stories, and that's what I love about the Dumping Ground Chronicles. But what I really love about the Dumping Ground Chronicles is the lessons they give. Like, unlike most kids shows, the Dumping Ground deals with serious subjects, and it's not just all sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. It's mostly serious, real topics that are deep and emotional for kids who have probably grown up in care or have had bad childhoods. And that's what I really like about these shows, because they're very relatable to audience like that. They don't just try to sugarcoat everything and pretend everything's going to be okay. They hit you right in the feels with their serious topics and lessons, and that's what I love about the Dumping Ground. But overall, if you enjoy these shows, or if you think I missed out any entries in this list, let me know, because I feel like Britain has some pretty underrated cartoons. I'm not saying all cartoons from across the world are bad, but I'm just saying British cartoons have been pretty underrated. Like, you don't really see a lot of Americans talk about them, and if anyone in the US is watching this, or if you haven't seen these cartoons or TV shows, I should say, I highly, highly recommend them. You won't regret it.